Mr. Fernandez, are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor, loud and clear.
Good morning. I'm going to go ahead and do our initial advisement here, and then we will call in our interpreter matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good morning. I'm Commissioner Procco. This is the 8 a.m. initial appearance calendar for March 25th, 2025.
Buenos días, soy la comisionada Procco. Este es el calendario de comparecencia inicial de las 8 de la mañana del día 25 de marzo del 2025.
The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar.
Las órdenes emitidas por el juez para la toma de ADN y huellas dactilares del día 1 de este mes en el calendario estarán en efecto durante todo ese calendario.
When you hear your name, please step up to the podium that's in the center of the courtroom in here.
Al escuchar su nombre, por favor, pásese frente al podio que se encuentra acá en medio de esa sala de audiencias.
Following your hearing, you will be provided with paperwork, and that will cover everything we go over in here, including your next court dates and all of your release conditions.
Al terminar su audiencia, se le entregarán unos documentos, los cuales repasarán todo lo que vamos a discutir acá el día de hoy. También en ese aparecerán sus próximas fechas de comparecencia, al igual que sus medidas cautelares.
Please keep in mind you do have the right to remain silent. Everything you say in the courtroom is being recorded, both audio and video, and could be used in a future court proceeding.
Por favor, tenga en mente que tiene usted el derecho de guardar silencio. Todo lo que usted diga en esa sala de audiencias está siendo grabado de forma mediante video y audio, así que todo lo que diga puede ser utilizado en una diligencia futura.
We're going to start today with David Abarca Gonzalez. Sir, if you could step in the courtroom.
Comenzaremos el día de hoy con David Abarca González. Señor, si puede usted por favor entrar a la sala de audiencias.
Sir, please state your full name and your date of birth.
Señor, por favor, diga usted su nombre completo y fecha de nacimiento.
David Abarca González, 6 de abril del 2001.
David Abarca González, April 6, 2001.
And Mr. Fernandez, I'll go ahead and let you do your appearance too.
Of course you are. Good morning, Your Honor. Lázaro Fernandez, court interpreter.
All right, sir, you are here for a new case out of the Maricopa County Superior Court. There are 2 counts that have been submitted.
Muy bien, señor, se encuentra usted aquí el día de hoy con un nuevo caso en el Tribunal Superior del Condado de Maricopa bajo 2 imputaciones nuevas.
1 count of possession of dangerous drugs for sale and 1 count of transporting dangerous drugs for sale, both Class 2 felonies.
Una acusación de tenencia de drogas nocivas para la venta y una acusación de transporte de drogas nocivas para la venta. Ambas son acusaciones de clase 2.
I do show that you qualify for court-appointed counsel, so the Maricopa County Public Defender's Office has been appointed in this matter.
Para esos 2 delitos de clase 2, cúmplese con los requisitos para que se le otorgue un abogado, así que la oficina del abogado de oficio ha sido asignada para que le represente en ese caso.
Your court dates at this time are a status conference, March 31, and a preliminary hearing, April 3rd, both at 8:30 a.m.
Las próximas fechas de comparecencia serán una consulta de actualización procesal el día 31 de marzo a las 8:30 de la mañana y una audiencia preliminar agendada para el día 3 de abril, ambas a las 8:30 de la mañana.
Both of those hearing dates will be at the Maricopa County Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix.
Ambas de estas fechas se van a celebrar en la ubicación del Tribunal Superior de Maricopa en el centro de la ciudad.
Based on the nature of the charges you have here, as well as your unknown local ties, you do have a bond in this matter. That's a $15,000 cash-only appearance bond.
Basado en la naturaleza de las imputaciones, al igual que el no saber sobre sus nexos o lazos locales, se le ha fijado una fianza de $15,000 en efectivo.
If you're able to pay that bond and are released from custody, you're also ordered not to have contact with any complainant, witness, or co-defendant.
Si puede depositar esa fianza y es excarcelado, se le ordena también el que no tenga contacto con ningún tipo de coacusado, la persona que presentó la querella o algún testigo relacionado al caso.
Do you have any questions regarding this information?
¿Tienes alguna pregunta, señor, relacionado a esa información?
Sí, quisiera saber que si no podría pagar esa fianza que me dicen, ¿qué podría pasar?
Yes, I would like to know if I'm not able to pay the bond that you just mentioned, what can happen?
If you're unable to pay the bond in this matter, you would remain in custody and you would be transported to attend your court dates.
Bueno, si no puede usted depositar la fianza mencionada, permanece usted detenido y lo transportarían para que participe en su próxima fecha de comparecencia.
Any additional questions?
¿Alguna pregunta adicional?
No, todo está bien.
No, everything is fine.
All right, sir, if you want to go ahead and step over to your left, you can go ahead and have a seat. Thank you.
Muy bien, señor, si puede pasar acá a su lado izquierdo, y ya puede pasar y tomar asiento. Gracias.
Mr. Fernandez, can you just check to see if there's anyone else here who does need the assistance of a Spanish interpreter?
It will be my pleasure, Your Honor. Buenos días. ¿Se encuentra alguien más presente el día de hoy que requiera de los servicios del intérprete judicial esa mañana?
All right, no hands, so it looks like that was everybody. Thank you so much for your assistance today.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. We've got Anthony Baker, Justin Robinson will be up after that. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Anthony Baker, 72869.
All right, thank you, sir. You are here for a new case out of the Maricopa County Superior Court. The charges are 1 count of aggravated assault involving serious physical injury. That's actually a Class 3 felony, even though it indicates it's a 2 in here. Possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, which is a Class 4 felony. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you in this case, and you have 2 court dates that are currently set at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. That's going to be a status conference on March 31, preliminary hearing April 3rd, both at 8:30. And again, those will be downtown Phoenix address will be included for you. So in this matter, I did receive a written recommendation from the state requesting a $150,000 cash-only appearance bond. Based on the nature of the offense that you're here for, I do believe a bond in that amount is appropriate. I didn't do cash, I did do secured appearance, but you do have a $150,000 secured appearance bond. Now, if you do post bond and are released from custody, you're also going to have orders here not to have any contact with the alleged victim or any complainant or witness in this matter, and you're still not to possess any weapons while on release. Do you have any questions for me regarding that information?
Nope.
All right, sir, if you want to step over, we'll get you your paperwork so you can have a seat at this time. Thank you. All right, Justin Robinson, Donald Paddock will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Justin Robinson, 2592.
All right, thank you. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court as well as your probation matter.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with the new matter that just came in, and this is for 1 count of kidnap, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of armed robbery, also Class 2 felony, 1 count of theft of a means of transportation, Class 3 felony, and 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, that's a Class 4 felony. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do currently have a status conference set March 31 with the preliminary hearing April 3rd, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. Now in this case, based on a review of your history, as well as the nature of the charges you're here for, I did take into account, I believe you have a prior aggravated assault involving DOC time. You do have a bond, that's a $50,000 cash-only appearance bond. Now, if you post bond and are released from custody, you're also going to be ordered not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, witness, or co-defendant. You're not to possess any weapons while on release. Since you're still on probation, you would also need to contact probation within 72 hours. Now, your probation case is here today because a petition to revoke was previously filed, looks like back in December. That petition alleges a violation of terms 3, 4, 5, 7, 14, and 15 of your probation terms. The public defenders appointed there. Your court date there is a probation revocation arraignment hearing, April 1 at 8:30. The bond in that warrant's been affirmed, which is a $750 secured appearance bond. Any questions regarding those matters?
No.
All right, sir. If you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork and have a seat. Thank you. All right, so we have Donald Paddock, and then Isaac Galvin will be up next.
Donald Paddock.
All right, sir, your full name and date of birth,
9/18/71.
and your full name.
Donald Grant Paddock.
All right, thank you. So you are here for a new case out of the Maricopa County Superior Court. The count that's been submitted is one count of vulnerable adult abuse, a Class 5 felony. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do currently have a status conference March 31, preliminary hearing April 3rd, both at 8:30. Those will take place at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. You'll get the address in your paperwork. Based on the nature of the offense that you have here, the violent nature of the offense, I should add, you do have a bond in this matter. So that is a $10,000 secured appearance bond. If you do post bond and are released from custody, it is going to be subject to the supervision of electronic monitoring and pretrial services supervision.
All right.
So that is because you have an order here that you are not to return to the scene of the offense. You are not to have any contact with the alleged victim or any complainant or witness. So if you were previously residing at that location, you would need to find an alternate residence.
Okay.
If you do need to return because you have personal items at that location that need to be picked up, you can only do that in person by using a civil standby. That's done by contacting local law enforcement and scheduling it through them.
All right.
ahead.
Can I say, well, I was just getting harassed severely, and I'm like an audio person. I'm a grip. I have stock tape, and I was just getting severely, and I mean, I got attacked like 4 times.
And I'll warn you that you do have the right to remain silent.
Okay.
Whenever you say anything about your offense in here, it could be used against you in a future court proceeding. Since you don't have an attorney here at this time, although you've been appointed one now, I would recommend keeping that in mind.
He said he'd appoint me attorney when he talked to me over there.
I just appointed the attorney.
Okay.
That's what happens.
All right.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Any other questions?
Where do I go after this?
They'll let you know. They'll
Okay.
direct you.
All right.
Okay? All right. So we have Isaac Galvin and Galina Ostrovsky will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Isaac Galvin, 7993.
All right, thank you. So you are here for 3 separate cases today. All 3 of these are probation violation warrants that were issued. In all 3 of your probation matters, there was a petition to revoke filed back in February alleging a violation of terms 3, 4, and 5 of your probation terms. So the public defender has been appointed to represent you. You have a revocation arraignment hearing set on April 1st at 8:30. And in that matter, in each of those matters, the bond and the warrant's been affirmed. 2 of them have a $500 secured appearance bond. The third has a $1,000 secured appearance bond. So it's $2,000 total for all 3. If you do post bond and are released, since you're on ITS for your level of supervision, you do have to contact probation within 24 hours rather than the standard 72. Do you have any questions about that? All right, sir, if you want to go ahead and step over, we'll get your paperwork so you can have a seat. All right, so we've got Galina Ostrovsky and then Tia Gray up after that. Hi, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Galina Maria Ostrovsky, 03/27/91.
All right, thank you. You are here for 2 separate cases today. The first one is going to be the new matter that just came in. So this is going to be for a new case in Superior Court. The charges are 1 count of burglary in the 3rd degree, which is a Class 4 felony, 1 count of taking identity of another, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of theft or control of a credit card, that is a Class 5 felony. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You have 2 court dates that are currently set at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Those are a status conference March 31, preliminary hearing April 3rd, both at 8:30 a.m. I did take a look at your history, which is pretty extensive. I know you're also currently on supervised probation. In light of that, you do have a bond in this matter. That's a $1,500 secured appearance bond. If you do post bond and are released from custody, you're also going to be ordered not to return to the scene of the offense, not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You're not to possess any weapons, and since you are still on supervised probation, you do need to contact probation within 72 hours. So your next case is your probation matter. It's been added to the calendar today for a Term 1 violation. So it's the new offense. That's what's triggered it. So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed there as well. Revocation arraignment hearing April 1 at 8:30. And in that matter, you have a $50 secured appearance bond. Do you have any questions regarding either of these two cases here? All right, ma'am, if you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork so you can have a seat. We've got Tia Gray, Kobe Bryant will be up next. All right, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Tia Gray, 5/14/1998.
All right, thank you. You are here for a new case out of Superior Court. The charges are 1 count of assault and 1 count of disorderly conduct, both Class 1 misdemeanors. There is a 3rd count submitted for aggravated assault, serious physical injury. I did not find probable cause on that 3rd count, which was the only felony count here. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going away, but I was given very limited information as to the scope of the injury, so I can't find probable cause as charged. So in here, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference March 31, preliminary hearing April 3rd, both at 8:30. That's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In light of the nature of the offense that you have here, even though you do just have the misdemeanor counts, and I did take that into account in setting your bond, and because you do have a prior domestic violence offense in your history, you do have a bond that's a $2,500 secured appearance bond. You also have orders not to return to the scene of the offense, not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. That does mean if you were previously residing at that location, you do need to find an alternate residence.
Okay.
So if you do need to return to the home in person in order to obtain any essential personal items, you can only do that using a civil standby. That's done by contacting local law enforcement and scheduling it through them. Any other return to that location would constitute a violation of your release conditions, and you can be brought back in.
Okay.
All right, any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, go ahead.
I have a court, for my son, a custody court.
I would recommend contacting your attorney in that matter and letting them know. If you're unable to postpone and remain in custody, let them know that you're in custody at this time.
Okay.
That's really the only thing I can tell you about that one.
Okay.
Okay? All right, thank you. All right, we have Kobe Bryant and Yadira Cardenas will be up next. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Kobe Bryant, February 22nd, 2003.
All right, so you're here for a new case out of Superior Court alleging 1 count of theft of a means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, and 1 count of robbery, a Class 4 felony. Now, in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference set on March 31 with a preliminary hearing April 3rd, both at 8:30 a.m. That's going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, I did receive a written recommendation from the state requesting a $2,500 secured appearance bond. I'll let you know I was initially in the realm of what's appropriate. So you do have a $2,500 secured appearance bond with orders not to return to the scene of the offense, not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. Do you have any questions about that? All right. If you want to step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork over there. All right. We have Yadira Cardenas and then Alberto Rojas. Hi, full name and date of birth?
Yadira Cardenas, August 30th, 1992.
All right, thank you. So you've got 4 separate cases here today. These are all 4 of your probation matters, and they're all on the calendar because a warrant was issued for a petition to revoke filed back on February 5th. It alleges a violation of terms 1, 3, and 4 of your probation term. So the public defender has been appointed. You do have a revocation arraignment hearing April 1 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So in all 4 of these matters, the bond and the warrant's been affirmed. The first 2 have $100 secured appearance bonds. The next 2 have $50 secured appearance bonds. So that ends up being $300 total for all 4. If you do post bond and are released from custody, you are still on supervised probation, so you do still need to abide by all terms. That does include contacting probation within 72 hours. Do you have any questions regarding these matters?
No.
All right, if you want to step over, we'll get your paperwork so you can have a seat. All right, so we have Alberto Rojas and then Vincent Cole up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Alberto Jaques Rojas,
February 26, 1990.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a bench warrant that was issued. It's for a failure to appear in CR 2025-109760. So in that matter, a status conference is now set on March 31 at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. So in this case, I did affirm the bond, since I know you were arrested on the same day you actually had your court date in this matter. That's a $50 secured appearance bond. That would be in addition to whatever else you posted in this matter, because I think you had a previously posted bond in this case. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you want to go ahead and step over, you go and pick up that paperwork over there. Thank you, sir. All right, so we have Vincent Cole, and then Eric Rodriguez will be up next. So your full name and date of birth.
Vincent Stephen Cole, August 4th, 1966.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. This is alleging one count of unlawful flight from law enforcement, which is a Class 5 felony, and one count of resisting arrest, that is a Class 6 felony. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You have 2 court dates that are currently set at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. That's going to be a status conference March 31, preliminary hearing April 3rd, both at 8:30. In this case, I did receive a written recommendation from the state requesting a $2,500 secured appearance bond along with electronic monitoring. I did review your history, and it does look like it's fairly limited at this point, but I do have to take into account the nature of the offense that you're here for now. So you do have a bond. I didn't go quite that high, but you do have a $500 secured appearance bond. So that is the amount you'd have to post in order to be released prior to your next court date. Do you have any questions about that?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So my charges were unlawful flight.
Unlawful flight from law enforcement and resisting arrest.
Okay, so what brought on the unlawful flight?
You can certainly speak to your attorney about the charges that have been brought against you. So this is brought on if an officer attempts to pull you over and you simply evade that. So if you believe you have a defense, you can of course present that, but I will let you know based on the probable cause statement that was submitted, I did find probable cause for both of the counts that were submitted here today. Okay? Any other questions regarding that?
No.
All right. You want to go and step over? You can go ahead and pick up that paperwork over there. All right, so we have Eric Rodriguez and then Jeffrey Wooford will be up next. All right, full name and date of birth.
Eric Matthew Rodriguez Jr., 11/5/87.
All right, I will note for the record that he has been booked as Eric Stephen Rodriguez with a date of birth of 7/18/1988. Since there was a comment in pretrial services notes regarding the identity in this matter, we did contact MCSO to verify whether or not fingerprints were taken in this case. They did indicate that prints have already been taken and did confirm with OIC that the prints did match with an APHIS to the individual as booked, so the Eric Stephen Rodriguez. So I am proceeding on that information that the court's been given at this time. You are here for a new case out of Superior Court that is alleging one count of possession of narcotic drugs, Class 4 felony, one count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. So the public defender's been appointed. You do have a status conference on March 31 with the preliminary hearing April 3rd, both at 8:30 at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, you have a $500 secured appearance bond. That's the amount you'd have to post to be released prior to your next court date in this case. Do you have any questions about that? All right, sir, if you want to step over, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork that is provided over there. All right, so we have Jeffrey Wolford, and after that, Joaquin Ramiro. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Jeffrey Lee Walford, 08/03/1984.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging one count of taking identity of another, which is a Class 4 felony, one count of false reporting, a Class 1 misdemeanor, one count of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, a Class 3 misdemeanor. The public defender has been appointed to represent you. You do currently have a status conference set on March 31, preliminary hearing April 3rd, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. And based on the nature of the charge, specifically the fact that you are alleged to have provided your brother's identifying information, which was also indicated this was the second time during the course of an arrest, you do have a bond in this matter. That's a $500 secured appearance bond with orders that you are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. That would constitute your brother in this case. Do you have any questions regarding that?
Do you think that I could be released on my own recognizance to show up?
No, given the nature of the offense that you already tried to evade being brought in on your own identity, you provided false information to law enforcement, as well as the fact that your criminal history showed a prior failure to appear at the Mesa Municipal Court just 2 months ago, you are going to have a bond here today. All right. Any other questions, though? No. All right, sir, if you want to go ahead and step over, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork. All right, so we have Mr. Romero. Adriana Daniel will be up next.
Good morning.
Hi, Mr. Romero. Go and state your full name and date of birth.
Joaquin Gabriel Romero, 12/6/1978.
All right, thank you, sir. You are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, which is a Class 4 felony. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you in this case. You currently have a status conference set April 9, preliminary hearing April 11, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, I mean, you don't have a great history. I'm sure you're aware of that. Yeah. But I did recognize the nature of the offense that you're here for, and I think they just alleged that they located a single pill located on you. So it's for that reason I'm going to follow the PSA recommendation here. You are being released, but it will be subject to the supervision of pretrial services.
Yes,
before you go, you will get some information regarding that. That includes their contact information. It is going to give you instructions, including their phone number to call. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. If you want to go and step over, we'll provide you with some paperwork. All right, so we've got Ms. Daniel. Vincent Nish will be up next. Hi, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
I'm sorry, Adriana Denise Daniel, May the 2nd, 1993.
All right, thank you, ma'am. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging 2 counts of child or vulnerable adult abuse reckless, a Class 5 felony, 2 counts of endangerment, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 2 counts of endangerment. They did it under 2 different statutes, so it's another Class 1 misdemeanor. So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You have a status conference April 9, with a preliminary hearing April 11, both at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. Based on your otherwise lack of any other criminal history, I am going to be releasing you in this case. So you are being released, but it is subject to the supervision of pretrial services, so you'll get their information before you go. So in this matter, you are going to have the additional orders that you not have any contact with the alleged victim in this matter, which I understand are your 2 children in this case. I did your DCS order yesterday, so I'm aware of the fact that they've already been involved in your case. So I did include in here that you do need to comply with all directives of DCS, okay? So you'll have to kind of work with both of these matters in order to reestablish that contact, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions regarding that?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got Mr. Nish, and Ruben Herrera will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Vincent Nish, 4474.
All right, thank you. You are here for a new case out of Superior Court. This is alleging 1 count of false reporting to law enforcement. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. That's the only count I was able to find probable cause on at this time. There were some additional counts submitted of 1 count ag DUI, that's a Class 4 felony, and then 2 counts of DUIs, Class 1 misdemeanors, and 1 count of having an open container of liquor in a vehicle. I did not find probable cause on those counts, which does not mean that they're necessarily going away, but they did not provide me with sufficient information to establish that probable cause in those counts, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference set on April 9, preliminary hearing April 11, both at 8:30. And because I did not find probable cause on anything other than that 1 misdemeanor charge, I am releasing you here today. That is going to be on your own recognizance. That is going to be your promise to appear at all future court dates. Okay. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, sir. If you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that information over there. We've got Ruben Herrera. Martina Ramos will be up next. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Ruben Herrera,
Your date of birth?
January 31st, 1960.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of the Goodyear Municipal Court. It is for 1 count of shoplifting. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. You're not entitled to court-appointed counsel in this matter due to the nature of the charge, since it's a misdemeanor offense that doesn't otherwise qualify, but you do have the right to retain an attorney on your own behalf. You have a arraignment hearing set on April 9 at 1 p.m. That'll be at the Goodyear Municipal Court. The address for that court will be included in your paperwork. You are being released on your own recognizance today, which is going to be your promise to appear, with the additional orders that you not return to the scene of the offense, not have any contact with any complainant or witness in this matter.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions regarding that?
Paul be going home?
You are being released in this matter. So assuming you have no other holds, then yes, you would be going home. But at least in this case, I am releasing you, correct?
Okay.
Okay? All right, do you want to go and step over? You can go and
Thank
pick
you
up that
very much.
paperwork. All right, so we have Martina Ramos, and after that, we'll have a Johnny Johnson. Hi, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Martina Lynn Ramos, January 31st, 1985.
Okay, thank you. You are here for a new case out of the Country Meadows Justice Court. In your case, the charge that's been submitted is 1 count of shoplifting, a Class 1 misdemeanor. You are not entitled to court-appointed counsel, since this is a misdemeanor offense that does not otherwise qualify, but you do have the right to retain an attorney to represent you in this case. You have an arraignment hearing set on April 10 at 8:30. That's going to be at the Country Meadows Justice Court, the address of which will be included in your paperwork you'll be receiving. In this matter, you are being released on your own recognizance, which is going to be your promise to appear. And in addition, you're going to be ordered not to return to the scene of the offense, not to have any contact with any complainant or witness in this matter. Do you have any questions regarding that? No. All right. If you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork. All right, Mr. Johnson. All right, sir, go and state your full name and date of birth.
Johnny Johnson, 32001.
All right, thank you. So you are here for a fugitive of justice FOJ warrant that was issued out of the state of California. They were notified that you were picked up on this warrant and did both confirm the warrant as well as extradition in this matter. You were given that laminated sheet. Did you have an opportunity to take a look at that?
Yeah, not all of it. I did read some of it.
You only read some of it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we'll probably have to enter in a non-waiver on your behalf since you did not read all of it, because that's the waiver paperwork here. Okay. But I'll go over your options here today, and then we'll go ahead and determine what we're going to do with you here. So in this matter, you do have the two choices. And one of them is if you wanted to waive extradition. By doing that, you would be waiving all those rights that are listed in there, so you do need to understand those. Yeah. So among those is that you would be held in the Maricopa County Jail, non-bondable, until California comes to pick you up on that warrant. Now, if you are held non-bondable in this matter, that would be for at least 30 days, okay? So they have, no, that's not correct. California would in turn have 30 days starting tomorrow to come pick you up. So they could pick you up the next day, they could pick you up on day 30, okay? Now, that's assuming you have no local open cases. If you do have any local open cases, California would have to wait until that local open case is completed, and then the 30-day time frame would start for them to pick you up, okay? I don't know that you have any local open cases. I just want to give you that heads up in case you do, all right? So we're still on if you want to waive extradition and return to California. Now, the process there is that a governor's warrant has to be issued by the governors of both states, of both Arizona and California, in order to extradite you back to the state of California. That process can take up to 90 days. That's the time frame they have in order to execute that warrant. Okay. So in that case, I can appoint counsel to represent you at the hearing that we'd be setting for you, okay? And that would be a fugitive from justice hearing on April 7 at 1:30 at the Superior Court. These matters are considered civil. It's an extradition case. That's a civil case. It is a criminal case out in California, but the actual extradition proceedings as to whether or not to transport you back to California in this matter is a civil case. You do have the right to retain an attorney to represent you in this case, and I'll also note there are sometimes public defenders who are present at those hearings who can provide assistance, but there's no guarantee of that, okay? Right. So again, that's all if you want to waive extradition, or I'm sorry. We're gonna have to start over. I completely messed that up for you. If you waive extradition, okay? Forget everything I just said, okay? I apologize. If you waive extradition, you would have no further hearings here in Maricopa County. So you would not have that hearing I just told you about, okay? That was completely wrong on my part. If you waive extradition, you would have no further hearings here in Maricopa County and would be held in the Maricopa County Jail non-bailable until California comes to pick you up. Now, that 30-day time frame, that is correct. So they do have 30 days starting tomorrow to pick you up on that warrant, unless you have local open cases, at which time those have to be completed, and then the 30-day time frame would start, all right? So that's if you want to waive extradition, all right? If you don't want to waive extradition, at least not today, you can always waive at a later date, all right? If you choose not to waive extradition in this matter, here's what would happen. In that case, I'd be setting that hearing for you. So that's the hearing that I mistakenly told you about earlier. If you don't waive extradition, we'd be setting a fugitive from justice or extradition hearing for you on April 7 at 1:30. In that case, I can't appoint counsel to represent you. Okay, so it's for the same reason I gave you before. It is a civil case since it's the extradition proceedings. You do have the right to retain an attorney, and there are public defenders present there often who can provide assistance. So in that case, you would be entitled to a bond. In the warrant, that is a $110,000 secured appearance bond. So that's the amount we'd be affirming today. That's the amount that you would have to post in order to be released prior to your next court date that you have here on April 7th. Okay? The process there, if you decide not to waive extradition, is that a governor's warrant has to be signed by the governors of both states. That process can take up to 90 days. Okay? That's the amount of time they have to execute the warrant. All right? I know I might have confused you a little bit there, but do you know how you want to proceed today? Or do you have any questions regarding this?
So if I waive it and they got 30 days to pick me up, if they don't pick me up in those 30 days, then
you wouldn't be held anymore. We can only hold you for the 30 days that they have in order to pick you up on the warrant. That's assuming you have no local open cases. So you would be released. That doesn't mean the warrant goes away, though. Okay, you could get arrested on that warrant again.
Okay. And if I unwaive it, that means I'm going to be trialed here until they find it?
So if you don't waive it, you are just not waiving extradition. You're just saying, look, I'm not going to waive my extradition rights here in Arizona and agree to turn to California. Okay, you're saying I potentially want to fight extradition in this case or further look into the warrant that was issued in this matter. Okay, so it doesn't mean you're going to stay here and have this case tried here. This is still California's case. This is a case that will be handled by the state of California. The only thing we're going to address here is whether or not you should be transported back to California. Okay, so that's what that hearing would be the start of. Would be the start of establishing a governor's warrant in order to get you back over to California.
All right.
Because that's the other process. If you choose not to waive, we have to issue a governor's warrant to return you.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll waive it.
You want to choose to waive?
Yeah.
All right. In order to do that, I need to have you read that paperwork. Okay?
Okay.
So I don't know how much you have to read, but you're going to have to read it. How much time do you need?
Like 10 minutes.
Oh, Jesus. Can we put him outside and do our other matters?
You can read it out in the other room. You got paper. Clear, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and have Enrique Barboza Sanchez. Sir, please state your full name and your date of birth. Do you need an interpreter?
No, no escucho.
Do you need the headphones?
Sí.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Barboza, can you hear me now? Is that better?
No.
You say something, Your Honor?
Yeah, how about now? Can you hear me through the headphones?
A ver.
How about now? Can you hear me? You want me to say something while you're running through it? Anything yet?
Turned up all the way.
Okay. No, still nothing?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he's reading the paper. He handed it back to you.
Oh, yeah.
I gave it to him when he came in. He said it was all done, so I handed it to him. We have to come back in here? Yeah, he's out there reading it. He has to come back in when he's done with this. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sounds like it's on now. Are you able to hear me now? Can you hear me through the headphones?
No, no hablo español.
Okay, so you need a Spanish interpreter.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So, go ahead and you're going to have a seat. Let's go ahead and take back the headphones, so we just leave them in here. All right, and then we'll go ahead and call in our other matter while we see how we're going to do that. So it's going to be Jamar Rodney Reinecke. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Jamar Rodney Renique.
And your date of birth.
2888.
All right, thank you. So you are here for 3 separate matters today. The first one is going to be the warrant that you were brought in on. This is for a grand jury warrant that was issued for an indictment that was filed. It alleges 1 count of failing to register as a sex offender, which is a Class 4 felony. An attorney has been appointed to represent you through the Public Defender's Office, and you have an arraignment hearing set April 2nd at 8:30. That'll be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, you do have a bond that's a $2,000 cash-only appearance bond. So the bond in the warrant was affirmed at this time. You also have 2 other matters here today. So these are your probation cases, and it looks like the reason both of your probation matters were added to the calendar is because a Term 1 violation has been alleged. So that's the other case that you were just brought in on, the failure to register. They're saying that that's a Term 1 to both of your probation cases. So in those matters, the public defender has been appointed as well. You have a revocation arraignment hearing April 1 at 8:30. In each of those cases, there is a $50 secured appearance bond. So I'm basically putting bonds in place in your probation matters so that they know you're in custody in each of those cases, just in case you don't post that first one, okay? If you post bond and are released from custody, you're also still on supervised probation, so you do still need to abide by all terms. That does include contacting them within 72 hours of your release. All right, any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, sir, thank you. All right, I will go ahead and put our house call on record. So this is going to be for Naj Rajiv Skanes, date of birth 6/26/2004. Looks like he was being combative, is that right? He's an ISO, okay. So he's here for a new case out of the Maricopa County Superior Court. That's for 1 count of aggravated assault involving a first responder Class 5 felony, 2 counts of criminal damage Class 5 felony, 1 count of unlawful flight from law enforcement, a Class 5 felony, 1 count of resisting arrest Class 6 felony, 1 count of obstruction, and 1 count of disorderly conduct. Those are both misdemeanor offenses. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed. Status conference set March 31 with a preliminary hearing April 3rd, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, given the nature of the offense he's here for, he does have a bond. That's a $50,000 cash-only appearance bond. If bond is posted, that would be released to supervision of pretrial services along with electronic monitoring, and the order is that he is not to return to the scene of the offense, not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. His release conditions do include specific terms that he may not reside at the same location as any alleged victim, and that he is only permitted to return using a civil standby. All right. What do you think? Are we doing language line? Yeah. I'm going to call line first. Okay.
Hi, good morning. I'm taking 1 minute.
Hi, are you able to hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is Commissioner Procco. I do have you here on speaker in the courtroom. We're in Maricopa County, and I do have an individual who does need the assistance of a Spanish interpreter. This would be for a legal matter. Are you able to assist us with that?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and have Enrique Barboza Sanchez come back into the courtroom. And if you could introduce yourself to Mr. Barboza, have him state his full name, date of birth. Hold on 1 second. He needs hearing things, so let me get those on him first. I'll let you know when. Okay. All right. If you could go ahead and do that.
Hola, buenos días. Yo seré Ana, tu intérprete en español. Si me puedes ayudar a brindarme tu nombre completo.
Enrique Barbosa Sánchez.
¿Y me brindas tu fecha de nacimiento?
1 de noviembre de 1971.
So my complete name is going to be Enrique Barbosa Sánchez, and my date of birth is going to be November 1st of 1971.
All right, thank you, sir. You are here for a grand jury warrant that was issued. This is for an indictment that has been filed.
Muy bien, gracias, señor. Usted está acá por una orden de gran jurado que se emitió. Esto es para una acusación que se ha realizado.
It looks like this might be a refile of the charges that you are already in custody for, but you can discuss that with your attorney. They'll be able to let you know what's happened.
Parece de que esto podría ser una nueva presentación de los cargos por los que ya está bajo custodia, pero puede discutirlo con su abogado. Ellos podrán informarle de lo que ha sucedido.
The charges are 1 count of child molest, a Class 2 felony, and 1 count of kidnap, also a Class 2 felony.
Los cargos son cargos de abuso sexual infantil, un delito grave de clase 2, y un cargo de secuestro, también un delito grave de clase 2.
1 count of sexual abuse, a Class 3 felony, and 1 count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony.
Un cargo de abuso sexual, un delito grave de clase 3, un cargo de resistencia al arresto, un delito grave de clase 6.
You still have an attorney appointed to represent you in this case.
¿Todavía tiene un abogado designado para que le represente en este caso?
An arraignment hearing is set on April 2nd at 8:30 a.m. That'll still be at the same location where you were having your other hearings.
Una audiencia de lectura de cargos está programada para el 2 de abril a las 8:30 a.m., que aún será en el mismo lugar donde está teniendo su otra audiencia.
The bond in your warrant has been affirmed. That's a $100,000 cash-only appearance bond.
Se ha firmado la fianza de su libertad, que es una fianza de $100,000, solo en efectivo.
If you do post bond and are released, it would be subject to the supervision of pretrial services with electronic monitoring that would be ordered.
Si lo pospone, el nuevo comunicado estaría sujeto a la supervisión de los servicios previos al juicio, con monitoreo electrónico que se ordenaría.
You also have the same orders that you are not to have any contact with any victim, complainant, or witness, and you are not to have contact with any minors.
También tiene las mismas órdenes de que no debe tener ningún contacto con ninguna víctima, denunciante o testigo, y que no debe tener contacto con ningún menor.
Do you have any questions regarding this information?
¿Tiene preguntas relacionadas con esta información?
Yo tengo una pregunta. Los casos que tenía anteriormente, de los cuales se me están acusando, en el 2008, que fue el caso, yo estuve encarcelado por 5 meses y me dieron, no sé, un papel, un plío, no sé, pero me deportaron para México. El abogado, cuando
Hey,
yo
let the
vine...
interpreter. Let her jump in.
Okay.
So I have a question about the previous cases that I had. They were accusing me back in 2008 about that case. I was in prison for 5 months, and they gave me some paperwork and they sent me back to Mexico.
These charges have now been filed. I don't know what happened before. That's a discussion you can have with your attorney.
Esos cargos ya han sido presentados. No sé qué sucedió antes, pero eso es una discusión que puede tener con su abogado.
Sí.
I am only seeing you on this warrant.
Yo solo te veo de esta orden.
Ok, muchas gracias, señora. Mi pregunta nada más salir de duda, ¿por qué me dejaron libre la vez pasada? O sea, ¿por qué el abogado dice que yo nunca estuve detenido por esos cargos? Entonces, los 5 meses que estuve yo detenido, ¿estuve bajo privación de libertad o qué fue lo que pasó? El abogado, yo le hago esa pregunta.
Let her interpret.
El abogado no me...
Stop. Let her interpret.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. But I have one question and a doubt. I mean, why you guys let me free? Because I was free for a while. What happened with the previous charges?
Again, you've been appointed an attorney to represent you. That is a question for your attorney and a discussion you can have with them.
Una vez más, todo eso ya se le asignó a usted un abogado para que lo pueda representar. Esa es una pregunta para su abogado, es una discusión que usted puede tener con el grupo de abogados.
You'll be able to address that with them when you go to your court date on April 2nd.
Usted podrá abordar eso con ellos cuando vaya a su cita en la corte el 2 de abril.
Ok, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. If you want to go and step over. Thank you.
Entonces, si quiere ya puede pasar.
All right, that was the only matter we needed assistance with. I appreciate your help today.
Okay, thank you for calling Language and have a nice day.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Johnson's ready. All right. All right, so we're recalling the matter for Johnny Johnson. Did you have a chance to review that?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on that and what we went over earlier, do you still want to waive extradition in this matter?
Yeah, so in here I read that if I waive it, that I can't post bond.
Right, yeah. If you choose to waive extradition and return to California, okay, if you choose to do that, you would be held in the Maricopa County Jail without bond, so you'd be non-bondable, so you would not be released until California comes to pick you up, and they have to come pick you up within that time frame we discussed earlier.
All right, 30 days.
Correct, okay. Unless you have any local open cases,
Right.
I always have to add that just in case.
No, yeah, you're good.
Okay.
And then if I don't choose to waiver it, they have 90 days to pick me up, right? Correct? Because you in the States got to sign off on it?
The pickup isn't necessarily within 90 days. They have to issue a governor's warrant within 90 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I have to pick, like, right now?
You can choose not to waive extradition here today and waive at a later date, okay? So if you're not sure how you want to proceed today, you can choose to set this extradition hearing here in Maricopa County and say, I'm not going to waive at this time at least. At your next hearing, the commissioner there would go over the same information, okay? They'll give you another opportunity to waive at that time if you've changed your mind.
All right, I'll do that.
You want to go ahead and not waive at this time? Okay. And yeah, you can waive at a later date if you determine, wait, no, I made a mistake, I want to just go ahead and waive, okay? All right, so we'll set that fugitive from justice hearing on April 7 at 1:30. That'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I do have to set the bond that's in the warrant then. That's a $110,000 secured appearance bond.
All right.
All right, any questions?
No.
Okay, let me go ahead and get this signed, and we'll get that paperwork out to you so you'll have that information too. All right, thank you. All right, we already put the house call on record. Okay.